Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm back in Edenville again today. This is what used to be left of Wixom Lake behind me in the background, as well as the Edenville Dam. I do want to say a big thanks to my new Patreon members, Nakati, hopefully I said that correctly, Pete and Richard. Thank you for all your support, and also thank you to all my new subscribers and people for sharing this video, liking it. It helps get it out there in front of more people. You know, Edenville and Sanford are starting to lose the media's attention. There's only a few select local news outlets that are still covering the story. I want to keep getting this story out there and cover the rebuilding of these dams all the way over these next couple years. It's going to be tough over these next couple years, but I'm going to cover this entire story. So if you want to tag along and watch the rebuilding efforts, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Some people were saying that I deserve an award for documenting this historic event, and YouTube or the state of Michigan should give me an award. The only award I'll get is from YouTube if I reach 100,000 subscribers. So if you do want that to happen, encourage people to subscribe to my channel even more. However, I'm not doing this for the attention. I'm just wanting to document this story and make sure the people of Edenville and Sanford keep getting heard. Also, there were some people that wanted to send me stuff through the mail. I'm not sure what it was, maybe just some letters. I will put my P.O. box in the description down below, and I'll post it up here on the screen as well. If it's channel appropriate, I might start opening some mail at the end of these videos. So the majority of this video, I want to kind of focus more on the Tobacco River. So this was kind of the Tittabawassee River side of things here, where this Edenville Dam was, but there also is a Tobacco River side. The dam is way over in that direction. You can't actually see it from this vantage point, but I'm gonna fly to it with my drone. There is some news coming out about some cracking of the dam and some worries and concerns that it could possibly fail as well. So I'm gonna try getting some of that footage with my drone. I'm also going to try to get some video of Stryker's, the marina that is just over in that direction. And I'm also going to cover the path of the river, where it's going in its new direction and where the old path of this river was. And then I'm gonna head down to the M30 Bridge. There should be some work going on down there. I think it was yesterday or the day before. There should have been some work to start to remove some of the debris, some of the logs in front of that bridge, and start working on a plan to repair it. I was also contacted by, I guess it's the new owner who owns the dredge over here in this direction. He is going to be the one working on the restoration project. So hopefully I'm able to cover that entire story of them actually removing this dredge if it's possible, and then restoring it back to its former glory. He was just working on getting some of the permits required to be able to go out on this lake bed and be able to remove that dredge. Also, there is some problems happening with the water table here. Since this all used to be water here in Wixom Lake as well as down in Sanford Lake, the water table is dropping now that there's no longer any water here. People are running into problems with their wells drying up, so they're having to dig deeper wells to supply fresh water to their houses. A lot of people are asking and kind of waiting for this lake bed to start turning green. And we haven't seen much of that occurring, but today you can see there's quite a few weeds starting to grow here, as well as quite a bit of green right there. I'm not seeing much out there in the distance, but it's only a matter of time before plants reseed themselves out there. Those houses way out there on the point, looks like they actually have that soil stabilized now. Looks like there might be actually some reseeding going on. Some people were asking how are they allowed to drive a bulldozer on the lake bed when people can't even walk out there. That is a good question. there must have been a good reason to restabilize that bank. Also, there is these 2 pontoons that are still sitting over here on the side of the berm of the Edenville Dam. I did talk to Justin Hartman. For those of you who do not know Justin Hartman or never heard of the name, you can go back and watch some of my previous videos, but he owns a grapple crane, and he said he is able to get out there and he can get those pontoons if those are someone's. Just let him know. So get a hold of him on the Sanford Strong website. He'll be around for a couple more weeks. Just do a quick pan shot here, and that water level is the lowest I've ever seen it so far in the last couple update videos. So we haven't got rain in probably a couple days. I'm expecting it to get a lot lower this summer as the water table keeps getting lower and lower, and we have less and less water coming from Smallwood and Secord Lake, which are up that direction. I will be going up north of here to the Secord and Smallwood lakes and filming an update video on how those dams are doing. They did not fail, but they were definitely experiencing some major flooding. There was actually some water coming out the side of the dam at one point. Right now, I'm just gonna go fly my drone and get a couple videos because it is really hot out today. It's over 90 degrees, and then I'm gonna head down to the M30 bridges and see how work is progressing down there. There was quite a few people that requested a video showing the new path of the river versus the old path, and I'm not on the lake, but I'm out here standing on this dock. But the new path is actually in this direction, going along there, and I'll be able to show this a lot better with my drone. But the old path is actually over there behind the dam. And I can't zoom in on this because I'm just using a GoPro. I'll try to zoom in when I'm editing the video, but usually things just get more pixelated doing that. I am working on getting a DSLR or mirrorless camera with a zoom lens so that I'm able to get a little bit more of those close-up shots that you guys have been looking for. Here in the drone video, you can definitely see the difference between the new part of the Tittabawassee River, the new flow path on the left, and the old path behind the Edenville Dam heading over to the right. I'm going to zoom up here real quick, and you can actually see I have highlighted the new path in red, and you can see how the old path hooks around to the right, and you can actually see this here where there's a little bit of gap in the trees. And as I move forward and get a little bit closer, you can see the path of that river coming from the right to the left. Way up in the top you can see the M30 Bridge, and where I've highlighted in the red box you can see this is used to be the old path of the river. It's now been plugged where the new path has washed all the sand into it and it is no longer flowing in that direction. This is the M30 Causeway. I'll talk about this a little bit later, the repairs that are going to go on here. But in the background, you can just see the Tobacco River. Fisher Contracting won a bid to be able to repair this bridge. There will be a temporary bridge solution that goes in place as well. But part of the bid is removing the old part of the causeway that is in the middle of the screen there. This is the front side of the Tobacco River Dam. That M30 Causeway kind of separates the Tittabawassee River and the Tobacco River portions. And I'll talk a lot about the Tobacco River Dam later in this video and show a lot more details about how that possibly could fail. Here's some video of the Stryker's marina. You can see there are a lot of boats out of the water. This was requested to get some video of here. And over here to the right you can just start to see where Wixom Lake used to be, where it's now just all sand. And you can see all the boats that are getting worked on. Surprisingly, not many of these are pontoons. Alright, I'm here at the M30 Bridge that is just south of the Edenville Dam, and you can see there is a lot of construction going on here. A lot of repair. It's only been a couple days since they've started to work here. You can see they've already got a nice path in here, as well as got the bulldozer moving, and got some progress going on down there. I'm gonna go talk to these guys and see if I'm able to film down there. Sad, a lot of people are selling their pontoons, and it makes sense with the amount of years that it's going to take for these lakes to even refill after the dams are built. It's going to be a while before these pontoons are able to be put back in the water. I did go ahead and talk to the Fisher people who are the contractors there, and they said it's a hard ad area, so I'm going to go talk to Jim Sperling and see if I can go through his property kind of to see the job site and what's going on here at the M30 Bridge. I'm back at Jim Sperling's house, and you can see the construction going on over here by Fisher Contracting. His wife's right up there on the deck. You can just see the devastation that they did to their property. They own 75 feet up to the bridge here, and this all used to be woods. If you can remember from my first video, all those trees have been cut down. They have made quite a bit of progress though in the last couple days, so I think the goal number one is just to clear all the trees from in front of that bridge. Let me go ahead, walk down here to the river. You can kind of see that a little better. I'm only able to go right up here to the fence, so I can't go over the fence. But they got a nice path right down there from up at M30 to get access down here. And the news article said that they're actually going to be using a little barge to float out here and clear up a lot of these trees that are in the debris pile here in front of the bridge. This river keeps cutting over here to the left, going through this direction, and it keeps taking more and more of the Sperling's property. Water level is a lot lower than when I was here right after the flooding occurred. I think I was here the week after. There's a little John boat, duck boat over there on that shore. And up that direction is Edenville Dam. There's still just miscellaneous items strewn all along the sides of the river. A couple boats over there. There's a paddle boat over there in the distance. The Edenville Dam though is just right there. You can just see the side of the berm, that yellow area there. I'll fly my drone and we'll be able to see this a little bit better of the path, but you can see straight through there is where that water came rushing. So it looks like the main goal right now is that they're just trying to create a path down here to the river. Looks like they're laying down some tarps and then gravel on top of that. And you can see all these yellow bags that they put along the edge so that erosion and runoff doesn't just run back into the river. Some people up there on top of the bridge surveying. I see a lot of lines actually on the underside of this bridge now, so someone must have came through and marked up where all the cracks are on this bridge. I'm now down a little bit further south, south of the M30 Bridge. This is the Curtis Road Bridge. And from my update video 2 weeks ago, you can actually see there's some progress being made on the other side. They have a bulldozer down there. Just gonna walk to the end of the bridge here and see what else we can see. But all the debris that used to be on these bridges has now been removed. Up that way, that is the M30 Bridge, way over there in the distance. Tittabawassee River is flowing pretty good down here. So this is right at the end of the bridge. You can see the rest of it is collapsed down there on the ground. Right there in that direction is the M30 bridge that is being worked on by Fisher Contracting right now. This is the Curtis Road Bridge, and up that way is State Street. This used to be an entire farm field here. You can actually still see some of the lines. It looks like it must have been planted before the flood, because right now there is a lot of sand on top of this field yet. And this is the downstream portion. Not much going on down there. You can just see the water level is a lot lower than it's supposed to be. There's a tractor over there in the distance. There's a whole bunch of geese down there making their way up to graze on the grass there. I'm going to talk about some of the major news articles that came out in the last couple weeks as well. This first one was about a judge who issued a inspection of the Tobacco River Dam immediately because he felt that it could fail at any time and pose a grave danger to the people downriver. So I'm just going to hit some of the main points here that are covered in this article. So the U.S. District Judge, Judge Paul Maloney, said the dam owner, Boyce Hydro, has been slow to comply with state orders to assess damages following the dam's May 19th failure. The state complained that cracks in the dam present a danger to residents who have returned to the surrounding area to retrieve belongings. In addition, the state told the court that the partial dam is diverting the flow of the Tobacco River and preventing repairs that would allow M30 to reopen. This order requires Boyce to immediately determine whether the dam's Tobacco River side poses a risk to public safety, natural resources, and public transportation. Boyce must propose a plan by Friday to take immediate action if such risks exist. The state also ordered Boyce to have an engineer evaluate the dam and report back by May 24th. However, Boyce did not respond according to Maloney's order and then missed a second deadline too. So you can see there's a fairly consistent pattern here with the owner of these dams, Boyce Hydro. TRC engineers, a company out of Ohio, discovered that the Tobacco River is eroding a significant length of the dam near M30 after the dam failure altered its flow. And engineer Sean McGee recommended installation of a temporary retaining wall to divert the river's path and prevent further erosion. McGee also noted that there is tension cracks and surface sloughing along the dam's Tobacco River spillway, a result of erosion damage during flood. So that's some things that I'm going to try to get a video of with my drone, see if we can see any of those tension cracks and kind of the back portion of the Tobacco River Dam. FERC, or the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, oversaw the Edenville Dam for decades, and they repeatedly warned that the dam could not withstand a major flood. FERC yanked the dam's power generation permit in 2018 after Boyce failed to follow orders to increase its capacity to pass floodwaters. That action transferred oversight to state regulators in Michigan, whose dam safety standards are half as stringent as those in the federal government. State officials said that they were in the process of determining whether Edenville met Michigan's lower standard when the dam failed last month. On June 29th, repair work on both the M30 bridges in Midland and Gladwin County was expected to begin. The Michigan Department of Transportation awarded an emergency contract to start debris removal for the M30 bridges. I'm going to try to capture some of this with my drone and head down to the M30 bridge after filming here up by the Edenville Dam. Fisher Contracting, which is a company based in Midland, was awarded the bid at $1.2 million. Debris removal is scheduled to be complete by July 22nd. Some of the steps forward for the M30 bridge over the Tittabawassee River is, first, the contractor will use a barge to remove existing debris and trees blocking the bridge piers. Following the debris removal, inspection of the existing piers will be completed and a maintenance plan established. Over on the M30 bridge over the Tobacco River, it's some of the same sort of stuff that they will be removing existing debris, including remaining pieces of the original Causeway Bridge that was washed out during the flood. Then they will inspect the existing channel and collect some soil borings. MDOT is currently working with temporary bridging solution vendors to determine an appropriate temporary bridge structure that will remain in place for several years while the permanent bridge plans are established to rebuild the M30 bridge over the Tobacco River. Thank you to everybody for supporting me, subscribing to my channel, liking and sharing these videos. It does help a lot. If you want to contribute to the efforts here, make sure you visit the Sanford Strong and Edenville Strong Facebook pages. I'll leave the links in the description down below. And if you want to help support my page, I'll also leave my Patreon and PayPal account down below. Thanks for watching, and make sure you catch my next video. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next videos I will be posting, and leave your questions, comments, and suggestions below. As always, I just want to give a massive thanks to the people who support me on Patreon. Never underestimate the value of your contribution to keeping this channel going. Thank you.